fault code FC, FF, FI. We're talking sealed system errors, faults. Okay, so the water heaters recognize there's a problem, and there's several components that you can check. Doesn't blindly, suggest you start cutting into refrigeration lines, but we want to look at some of the things using field experience, things that you've done in the past. So Mike, you've done this stuff before. How are you going to jump into an FC or an FF fault code?
The first thing I'm going to get into our service mode. We're going to use the up arrow and enter arrow as usual. It gives us a couple seconds, then it'll give us a beep. So the things I'm most concerned with at this point, I'm looking for my T3A and my T3B sensors.
Okay, so that's around the evaporator. So what's that telling you though?
So that's telling me my superheat. So right now we've got 54, 55 incoming, and we've got 63 outgoing.
Okay, so if those temperatures are the same, it probably says there's no freon or refrigerant going through.
Exactly,
okay.
Exactly.
So if you're seeing that kind of stuff, obviously we could go out and we could ohm the sensors, but using the control will give you some indication. All right, so we use the control. What are other ways that you're going to look for that leak? How are you going to find if there's a leak or not?
So at that point, it's going to be a visual inspection. I'm going to be removing the top of the heater, looking at the ends of the coils, looking at any of the soldered connections, just visual inspection, oil in the pan, just things something that looks out of the norm.
Okay, so it's nothing new, it's nothing tricky. If you're a cooling guy, you've got your licensing, you know what refrigerant the oil looks like. Is this a standard refrigerant? What are we dealing with?
Yeah, it's nothing special. So this is going to be 134A.
Okay.
Everybody's pretty familiar with that.
And if I got to recharge the system?
Always want to charge on the low side.
Okay.
Nothing new, just like you would on a regular heat pump.
Okay, and 134A, how much freon?
We're going to be right around 30 ounces.
Okay, so it's typical scales.
Yep.
You're measuring. Pressures? Is there any way to ballpark pressures based on, it's 70 degrees in the room?
70 degrees, high side, 250, 280, low side, somewhere in the 60 range.
Okay, all right. So with confidence, FC, FF, FI, something to do, sealed system, refrigeration system. Trust but verify, look for the visuals, right? Your sensors, your control, that's going to point you in a direction. And it's a mechanical component. It can leak, it could have a problem. But frequency, how often do you have to do this to your refrigerator?
Never. Very, very uncommon, but just something we want to make you guys aware of.
Yeah, so brazing joints, your standard sill floss, nothing tricky, nothing new. Technical support, Mike's here, I'm here, 24/7, we're available.